Hey, we're going to have what could be considered a controversial conversation. That's right. I know there'll be some people in here fired up today. And that's what we're going to do here on GM3X. But we're also going to hear some heart-healthy news, which I'm super excited about. We're going to talk about your taste buds. That's right, the taste buds and little spots on your tongue. We're going to talk about those a little bit later. That and many other things in today's incredibly controversial episode of GM3X. Let's go! Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to eight, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. That's right, today is Monday, August 1st, 2022. Unbelievable. August 1st, 2022. What's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, August 1st, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Hey, it is going to be a beautiful 85 degrees here in Lexington, Kentucky. That's where I'm coming to you live from, Lexington, Kentucky. That's right. We've got horses, we've got basketball, and we got bourbon. We have a whole lot of bluegrass, and today we're going to have 85 degree temps, which I'm super excited about. I hope it's nice in your neck of the woods, wherever that is. Wherever your neck of the woods is, maybe you're across the pond. Maybe you're in somewhere here in the United States, in some other state. Maybe, I think my friend Danelle, she was up in like Alaska. Maybe you're up there in Alaska. Wherever it is, I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day today as far as weather. I hope your weather is going to be beautiful. I also hope that you had an incredible weekend. My family, we had a phenomenal weekend. We really did. I'm just going to be honest. It was amazing. My cup was filled this weekend. Friday, we had baseball. My son had a baseball tournament Friday. We had a little bit of a snafu. A little bit of snafu Friday night. Because we have new puppies, and our new puppies, I was like, where the puppies at? And I went and found the puppies. Well, the puppies done took down a chicken. That's where the puppies was at. The puppies done took down a chicken. I found them underneath the back porch. I was like, honey, one of your chickens didn't make it. One of your chickens didn't make it. So, yeah, that was a little bit of an interesting situation. But from a space of gratitude, I'm just thankful we live in a place where we can have chickens and we can have puppies and all of those things. We used to live in an apartment where they wouldn't even let us have a dog. So I'm super happy. There's some ups and downs that goes with that. But that happened on Friday night, right? And then on Saturday, we had some more baseball because it was a baseball tournament on Saturday. And then I had the opportunity to take the kids. I took, how many kids did I take? I don't know. I took five kids, I think, to a movie Saturday night. We went and saw Super Pets. We went and saw that movie, Super Pets, The Rock and Kevin Hart, that whole thing, right? Took 5 kids. So it was like part-time parenting for me, right? I only had to take 5 with me. So I took like 5 kids to the movie Saturday night, which was awesome. And then on Sunday, my wife and I actually got to enjoy church together. We got to enjoy church. All the kids went to different classes, which just to give you an idea of what church is like in the Lundy house. So we took, basically they have 4 different areas, right? They have like the baby area, then they have the toddler area, then they have like the early school area, and then they got the later school area. We got kids in all of them, every single one. So we drop 1 kid off over here, then we drop 2 kids off over here, then we drop another 2 kids over here, we drop another 2 kids over here, right? And it's crazy. But we had all the kids dropped off, including the baby, and my wife and I got to sit and enjoy church together, just the two of us. It was amazing, to be honest with you. We sat there, we held hands, we worshiped together, and that part was awesome. And then later in the day, I decided to, the kids had done me a favor. They had cleaned out the garage, and so I took the kids to a place called Champs, that's right here in Lexington, Kentucky. And this is a place where you can go roller skating, you can do laser tag, you can play video games, you can do all of those things. And so we did all of that, and it was Oakland's first time on a pair of skates. And I got to tell you, the little girl's a natural. She gets it from her grandpa. My dad was a heck of a skater. I'm pretty dang good myself, too, if I must say so myself, right? So it was an incredibly purpose-filled weekend, right? Like, on top of that, I kept getting text messages from dealers, from the dealers that I work with. I work with the owners and general managers of dealerships all over the country, actually all over North America. And I kept getting text messages, right? I kept, Bob Kane was up 15% year over year. Damon Lester's got a new dealership, knocked out 75 units. I was happy about that. Bruce Miller has got a new dealership. He's only been in business 10 months and sold 92 used cars, which is huge. I got a message from another one of my guys, said best used car month in the history of the store, 141% of last year's production. I was super happy to see that as well, right? I got another message that said record number of used cars sold, record total sales gross, record total F&I gross, record fixed ops gross, record total store gross, 38% increase year over year, best sales volume in 36 years, right? And then we got a couple other messages, up 35% on used beat new for the first time ever, right? Like, I was getting all these messages yesterday, and it just warms my heart when people are winning. I love it when people are winning, right? So it was just an incredibly purpose-filled weekend. Then last night, I went ahead and set my little iRobot, set my little Roomba, right? Set the Roomba. Went to bed at 11 o'clock like I always do after watching an episode of Big Bang Theory while my wife had already fallen asleep, but I watched it anyway, right? I did that. Went to sleep at 11, and this morning I was up at 3:20 a.m. feeling electric, like excited. Let's go. August is here, right? And so it was a big weekend. And what was really interesting about the weekend is the weekend looked a lot different than what it used to look like for me. Okay? A lot different than what it used to look like for me. Like, I used to believe that for success, in order for me to be successful in the auto industry, I used to believe that things had to look and feel a certain way, right? I had to work a certain amount of hours. I was gone till certain points in the night, so on and so forth. Right? Like, that's what I used to believe was the case. That was the best way for me to serve the industry and the people in it. And it was the only way. That's what weekends used to look like. And that's what I had been told was the only way to be successful in the auto industry. And so the Lundy house, like, weekends used to mean Sunday. That was it. That's what it used to look like. You know, for years and years and years and years and years, the weekend meant Sunday. That's what it meant. The rest of the weekend belonged to the industry, right? It belonged to the industry that I love so much. And I am so grateful for that season of my life. The 20 years that I spent in the industry, the 20 years that I worked every single Saturday other than maybe a handful over the years, right? I am so grateful for that season. It got me where I am today. I would not be where I am today without that season, right? And so massive gratitude for that. But it also gives me gratitude for what my life looks like now. And so looking back, I actually ask myself now, I'm like, wait a minute. Did the 20 years that I was in the industry, did it really, the 20 years that I was in the industry on the retail side, did it really have to be that way? Or did I just believe that it had to be that way? Right? Like, that's the question I asked myself. I said, okay, I'm grateful for that season, and it got me to where I am today. And I can say that I am successful in the auto industry thanks to the hours, thanks to the formula, thanks to the lessons that I learned from those that came before me. But I have to ask the question, did I just believe that it had to be that way, or did it really have to be that way? You see, I made a post, this is interesting to me. We're going to dive into this week. I made a post about my sleep patterns over on my business page the other day, right? Because I'm sure you heard as I was talking that I went to bed at 11, got up at 3:20. Some of you are like, that's crazy. Others of you are like, let's roll, right? And so I made a post about that. I made a post about the 4 hours and 20 minutes of sleep that I get every night. And there was a comment on the post. And the comment said, I agree with the fact that you don't need as much sleep as you think you need, but 4 hours is not enough. The body needs adequate time to recover, especially if you're trying to build muscle or just be more active in general. A minimum of 7 hours per night is considered a healthy amount of sleep. I understand that time is precious, but when it sacrifices your physical and emotional health, it's a no for me. That was the response to my video about sleeping 4 hours and 20 minutes a night, right? Now, after I read that comment, I thought about it, and I don't know. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know. But my guess is, this is my guess. My guess is that this person, right, that this person hasn't studied sleep as extensively as I have. I'm just guessing. I could totally be wrong. They've spent in their entire life studying sleep. But my guess is they probably haven't studied sleep as much as I have. I've studied sleep cycles, I've tested, I've monitored, I've done all of the things. I've spent, I don't know, hundreds of hours studying this thing called sleep, right? But maybe they've studied more than me. I don't know. But my guess is that they probably haven't studied it as deeply as I have. That's my guess. My guess is, and again, I'm guessing, I could be totally wrong. My guess is that they read somewhere that 7 hours of sleep is a healthy amount, that they were told by somebody that 7 hours of sleep was a healthy amount, and that they ultimately believe that 7 hours of sleep is a healthy amount. But here's the question. Just because they believe it, does that make it true? Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that today. All right? Before we go too far, y'all know what we got to do on this show. Y'all know we got to do some dancing. That's right. We got to get the body in motion. This is my boy Tony with the keys. If you don't know this song, this is #Rise and Grind. My man Tony with the keys put this song together for us a while back. It's been the anthem of this show for about 3 years. We love it. But this is the show. This is the part of the show where you got to do some dancing. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. All right? We got to get these bodies in motion. What better way to start off August than with a little dancing? You know what I'm saying? Best way to start off the day, as far as I'm concerned. If you're out there on a run, it's time for you to kick it up a notch. If you're laying in bed, it's time for you to get your tail end up. You ain't getting nothing done laying in the bed. I'm just saying. Unless your spouse is in there with you. And if you're listening to me and that's the case, I'm just saying, if y'all in action, come on now. You might want to turn me off. Hey, this is also the part of the show where I want you to say good morning to me. And I want to say good morning to you. Whether you're watching this live or on replay, please say what's up. I'll say what's up back, all right? I see you, my man Ray Hatcher in the building. Robin Welsheds, thanks for being here. Rick Tamburino. John Paul Guidry is in the building. Dora Maria is up in here. Gloria Bond, Great to see you. What's up, Renee Noor? The Queen is in the building. Kim Fair, Vicky Everett. I see Jeremy Nolin, my boy. Jeremy, oh, I've missed and I love you so much. Don Sankey is in the building. Nathaniel Banks, great to see you. What's up, Tina Kelly Overfell? Get up, girl. Let's go. Jennifer Kaifish, I'm glad you're here. Whitney Wells, Gloria Bond, Rich Pintrick in the building. I also see Rocky. My girl Rocky is up in here. I see Marilyn Wilkin and Monica. What's up, Ramon Ray in the building? Stars Tina put it down this morning. What's up, Monica? Core Element. Mac is in here. Coco and Peter and Patty and Annette with the CBC. What up, what up? Mr. Mike Strong is in the building. Yvette Searson. Vitali Bonziak is in the building. What's up, Anthony? Great to see you. I see Mary Kim. I see Jackie. I see Mr. Sankey and Robin and Liddy and Jean. I see William and Triple J. I see Justin. I see Tyrone. I see Soul. I see Scott Simons is in the building. I see Kate and Tim Hunt. Scott's in here. I don't see Liza, though. Is Liza up in here? Somebody tag Liza. She's usually up in here. Where's she at this morning? I want to make sure to see her. I see Patrina Gooch. Great to see you this morning. What's up? Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. All right. All kinds of people up in here. Angie Lane's up in here. All right. Everybody's up in here today on GM3X. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. We need to keep going. We're going to run out of time. We got a lot to cover today and this week. Fair enough. So do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, what's up, Julio Soto? If you're on Facebook, hi, Gail, Mr. Mike Higdon. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button. If you're on Clubhouse, share it out. I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jess.
And I have some good news for you.
Really?
Yeah, so there's this girl in Missouri and she's she's following in her father's footsteps and training to become a heart surgeon.
Do you know what I would have been if I followed in my dad's footsteps?
Oh God, what?
A professional wrestler.
Oh no. Dr. Sophia Roberts and her dad got to actually perform their first surgery together last August.
What kind of surgery?
They did open heart surgery together.
What, like a duo?
Yeah, they
How
got to
awesome
work
is
together.
that?
Yeah, that's a very cool Thanksgiving table story to tell.
Could you
At the
imagine?
holidays.
Could you imagine just talking about surgery you did together with your dad?
Yeah, no, my dad does HVAC, so.
My dad was a professional wrestler. What a great memory for them to share.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Can you maybe teach me some wrestling moves?
I could.
Okay, I got it. Go. You okay?
Tired? We all know the feeling. Irritable, groggy, and exceptionally lazy. Chances are you didn't sleep enough last night, or the past few nights. But what exactly is enough sleep? And more importantly, can you ever catch up on it? While the very function of sleep is still debated by scientists, we do know that it's necessary to function efficiently and productively. After all, we spend 24 years of our lifetime sleeping, it had better be important. Researchers have tested how much is required each night by assigning groups of people to 4, 6, and 8 hours of sleep over extended periods of time. After 14 days, those with 8 hours of sleep exhibited few attention lapses or cognitive issues. However, those with 6 or 4 hours of sleep showed a steady decline. In fact, after only 2 weeks, the 6-hour group showed a similar reaction time to a person with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.1%, which is considered legally drunk. The 4-hour sleepers suffered even more, occasionally falling asleep during their cognitive tests. In both groups, brain function decreased day by day almost linearly with no sign of leveling off. Scientists have dubbed this cumulative effect as sleep debt. So can we recover from it? After a night or two of little sleep, studies show that the body and brain can fully recover with a few nights of good sleep. However, with long-term sleep deprivation on the scale of weeks to months, the recovery of cognitive function is much slower, requiring many more nights of quality sleep. On the timescale of months to years, it's unknown whether brain function can be fully repaired or if it causes permanent damage. Paradoxically, with chronic sleep deprivation, your sleepiness or how tired you feel does eventually level off, meaning that you become less and less aware of your objective impairment over time. So how long should you sleep? Most studies tend to show that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is the average ideal for humans. Apart from the cognitive issues, individuals who consistently sleep less than 7 hours a night have an increased risk of heart disease, obesity, and diabetes, not to mention a 12% higher risk of death. On the flip side, studies have shown that while sleeping more than 8 hours does not impair brain function, it also carries an increased risk of heart disease, obesity, and diabetes, and a 30% increased risk of mortality. So too much sleep may also be a bad thing. But variation most certainly exists, and our genetics play a large role. In fact, individuals genuinely unaffected by only 6 hours of sleep were found to have a mutation of a specific gene. When scientists genetically engineered mice to express this gene, they were able to stay awake for an extra 1.2 hours than normal mice. It turns out these short sleepers have more biologically intense sleep sessions than the average person. Ultimately, while it's important to know the ideal average of 7 to 8 hours exists, let your body and brain help you figure out its own needs. After all, no one shoe size fits all. If you want to know how to get better quality sleep each night in order to conquer the hurdles of sleep deprivation, we have some tips and research for you over on ASAP Thought. You can find a link in the description.
Did you catch it? Did you catch it right at the end after they did all the science and broke down all the things from all the studies? They put in the little disclosure. There was a little disclosure in there. It said, well, some people are genetically different. Some people actually have a little genetic code that's a little bit different. Did you catch that? Now here's the question. So how do I know if I'm that? How do I know if I'm one of those people with the little genetic difference? That's what I want to know. How do I know if I'm genetically different, right? And how do I know? I'm curious. They said they did a study on some folks, right? So how many, like who did they do the study on? Because they didn't do the study on me. I'm just curious. They didn't do the study on me. I wasn't a part of that study. So who was in the study? And was it 3 people in the study? Was it 30 people in the study? Was it 300 people in the study? Was it 3,000 people in the study? Was it 30,000 people in the study? Was it 300,000 people in the study? Maybe it was 3 million. Was it 3 million people in the study? 30 million people in the study? Maybe it was 300 million people in the study, because here's the reality. Even though we all know there wasn't 300 million people in the study, if there were 300 million people in the study, that still would only be 0.4%. No, not 0.4, that would be 4% of the population of the planet. If they studied 300 million people, that would be 4% of the planet. Listen, I am all for science. I love me a science. I love some science. I love it. But blanket assumptions made by science, or anybody for that matter, without being questioned is not for me. And as far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't be for you. Look, before they had trains on the planet, like when they first started making trains, science said that a woman could not travel on a train more than 50 miles an hour because her uterus would fly out of her body. Up until recently, and I know you all saw this, y'all all saw were told that your tongue had little segments on it. One segment was for sour, one was for bitter, one was for sweet, and one was for salty. And recently they've just said, well, that's just simply not true. We were completely wrong. Everything that we taught you, completely wrong. That's not how it is. Back in the 1800s, check this out. In the 1800s, science believed, and this was common belief, it was commonly believed that if you placed dirty underwear in a bucket with wheat grain, it would generate mice. This was at the time called spontaneous generation. And it was the idea that life could be created from non-living objects. Science, baby. It was science. So my question to you today is, when in your life and who told you that 7 to 8 hours of sleep is optimum for you? And the follow-up question is, were they right? And see, maybe they were. Maybe they were right. Maybe 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night is optimum for you. Maybe it is. But then again, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. This week, we are going to use sleep as our discussion guide. That's all it's going to be. We're going to use sleep as a discussion guide. And the reason we're choosing to use sleep as a discussion guide is I believe it's one of the most widely accepted, like worldwide, it is just widely accepted as one way, right? You got to sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. You can't function. Anything less than that is healthy. I feel like it's one of the most widely accepted beliefs on this planet. And at the same time, quite possibly not true. Pissed off people up in here today. It's going to be so fun this week. So if the sleep belief, here's the point. If the sleep belief turns out to maybe be, just maybe, turns out to be a myth as we go through this week. If it turns out to be a myth for you, right? Not saying a myth for everybody. I'm saying if it turns out to be a myth for you, what else in your life might also be? You see, my goal this week is not to argue and debate over sleep. My goal this week is to unlock a small portion of what's possible for you. Because, see, sometimes the biggest obstacle in your own way, the thing that's holding you back the most, sometimes it is the beliefs that you have that have been handed to you in some way, shape, or form by someone that you trusted. And it is the ability to shift that belief that ultimately is going to empower you. So we will have some fun this week. We will learn a lot this week. And at the end of the week, that's my hope. My hope is that we'll unlock a piece of you that one day was unlocked in me. You see, at some point, something unlocked in me, and my belief, the belief that empowers me versus the belief that I used to have. My belief is that I and you are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And because of that, I believe we have the power to create, right? To be able to create and make a positive impact in other people's lives. And I believe that we have a born-on date and an expiration date, and that little dash in the middle is to be used to A, make an impact in other people's lives, and B, become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. Not the best version of anybody else, but the best version of ourselves. Rick Tamburino, best version of Rick. Glenn Lundy, best version of Glenn Lundy, right? That's what I believe. And that belief system has empowered me to create. It has empowered me to continue to do things. It has empowered me to wake up every day at 3:20 a.m. and want to come join you at 5:30 a.m. To do a show in motivation, education, and inspiration. It's empowered me to go to bed at 11 o'clock at night and get up 3:20 in the morning. It's empowered me to have my 8 children and live the life of my dreams that is filled with purpose. And I want to empower you as well. I want you to feel empowered to be able to decide what you want your life to look like. Because listen, if nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. I do. As my brother and as my sister, I absolutely stinking love you. So together, let's go out there and create in a purposeful way, right? So that we can wake up every day and go, oh my gosh, can you believe it? August 1st, Monday, 2022. Let's rock and roll. Fair enough? Fair enough. Come join me this week. We're going to have a lot of fun. Until then, I'm going to go head over to Clubhouse right now. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. We'll do some chit-chatting over there on Clubhouse. So I'm going to go do that. If you can't make it and join me over Clubhouse, that's okay. You don't have to. If you're catching this on replay, of course, drop a comment and let me know you stopped by. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. as we do it all over again right here on GM3X. Have an incredible day, my friends. Let's go.